What is this? I'm just running around like an idiot. Oh my god. Classic Marin-chan. Almost too Genki. Oh my god! I found some condoms! What? Here's a condom, Gojo! It's like, yeah, I found it! It's like, god damn it! Oh god damn it, this character, this anime, it's like, oh, you need to find some... Yes, Marin-chan, of course there is those in love hotels. Oh my god. Why is he so excited for? Here you go, Gojo! Take it! It's like... Okay, so now she's getting Soccer Boss Demon ears, right? Yeah. It looks like a manga character, yeah. Now she's getting adorable here with her. Okay, now it looks weird too. But she's actually nervous there. But looks like she was, you know, yeah. It looked family friendly, but it was actually her being nervous, right? That was a very weird, obviously kind of angled to look kind of hem there. Okay, oh no, God, you don't do it! Oh my god, now it's gonna be a sex scene here. Oh my god, God is like, get up my lap, girl! Oh, come on, God, yo. Oh, no. Oh, yes, I mean, oh, yes. Oh my god, this angle? His angle is family friendly. Oh, and it's super good. Oh shit, they went to give him, they even gave him a boner. Oh my god. They even gave him like a clearly an innuendo that Gojo got excited. Oh my god, this anime. Oh, episode. Oh my god. So last week we had again, right? We had the racism. The people want to cancel Marin-chan because it's apparently racism. You know, being a guru, you know, like a Kuro, Gyaru. Like this woman here, you know, this is like an actual person, right? You know, not a cosplayer, right? But this apparently is like supposed to be illegal, right? So that was last week, and this week we have they're going to a love hotel. They're like, I'm hoping for more. Like, you know, I freaking love the controversy. I love it. Yeah, I want to see people complain about it. I want to see people being angry. People be like, this is hentai. It shouldn't be on whatever. You know, it shouldn't be allowed. It should be banned. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait for that shit. Hopefully it gets a lot of controversial. I mean, I genuinely want more of that shit. Family friendly if I've ever seen one, right? So, let's just first frame it, right? People that don't know Japanese culture and so on. Again, I just made a video this morning, right? About the Kuro Gyaru thing, right? Why is that fashion and culture in Japan, right? Splitting like country culture and so on. So as you may or may not know, right? I love Gyarus, right? It's my favorite fashion in Japan. Especially Kuro Gyarus, of course. And I lecture, not like every week, but I had done several lectures and written so about, you know, human behavior, right? And I studied for my degree and so on. I studied human behavior or pattern and so on, right? So I actually done lectures where I have taught about Gyaru, for example, right? Gyaru, Yankee and so on, right? Because it's like a subculture lecture, right? So I had a lecture actually when I'm talking about Gyarus to some extent, right? Actually, last November, for example, it is whatever, university, right? So seriously, not making a joke, right? But anyway, so now then instead, let's talk about love hotels, right? Romance, baby. So, I mentioned, of course, brief interaction, right? But I take it here again, right? If you don't know about Japanese culture or society or whatever, right? So let's start with that first, right? So here, of course, Gojo and Marin is at a love hotel, right? And the premise, right, is that in Japan, especially in Japan, in other countries too, people live at their parents' place far too long, right? It's combined with, like, you know, very high pricing, right? To get your own house or apartment, you know, overpopulation, blah 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 blah, and so on, right? So in Japan, then they live very very long time, right, at the parents' place. Usually not uncommon at all until they get married, right? So actually, you can have two people dating and so on, right, having intercourse, right, with each other, but the intercourse is gonna be at a love hotel, right? So instead of going home to your boyfriend or your girlfriend's place, right, because you both live at your parents' house, right, or even maybe your parents' apartment, instead of going home, right, to like your girlfriend's parents' apartment and doing it there, you instead take your girlfriend, right, and you have intercourse, right, at this love hotel, right? So in, of course, an anime and manga and so on, right, it's incredibly common trope, right, that if you bring your boyfriend to a love hotel, you know, shit is gonna go down, right? Shit is gonna go down. And I really love the other woman. We see this other woman coming in, and I love this scene because, you know, we heard her mind, right? And she's like, ARA ARA! You know, I love. It's one thing I do love, right? Is Gyarus, and even better, ARA ARA. And of course, the best thing is Milf, you know, Kuro Gyaru Milf ARA ARA. Right? They have all of the combination, right? So this woman comes in, right? And she's like, Ara Ara! Yeah, you just had some sex, eh? This is awesome! Yeah, because that's kind of the thing, right? So immediately when she sees Marin, right, she assumes that Marin just, had intercourse, right? Because that's what you do with the love hotel. So then Marin was kind of embarrassed, right? Because they almost kind of kissed and, they were touching and so on, right? And she's like, oh yeah, you're kind of young, girl. I like that. This woman was like, yeah, that's right, girl. Get it, yeah, you do it, bro. She was like, yeah, you go, girl. So that was like that was so awkwardly funny. And Marin was all embarrassed, like, oh my god, she does this, yeah. But anyway, so that's kind of the premise, right? As I explained that, right? That's kind of the premise of the love hotel. And yeah, it's super iconic. And like seriously, a lot of couples in Japan, this woman here perhaps, right? They go out and date, then they have sex and so on, right? With men and so on, before they get married, right? And even the same fiance, right? Until they get married. So she might go to the love hotel like 50 times, right? With her fiance, do it, right? And then eventually they get married, that's finally when they get their own house and so on. That is not uncommon in Japan. Because of housing market and so on, especially then in Tokyo and so on, right? So it's actually quite a common thing, right? And as I mentioned in the reaction part, we see in other animes, for example, Yamada's first time, how she takes her boyfriend to a love hotel immediately because she wants to get some action, right? So for that matter, before we go on in the review, I do want to mention that anime because actually it's a very similar anime to this anime, okay? Not many people see it, but it's an old anime. A very old anime, and I strongly recommend it. It's actually a really good anime. So let me talk about that anime briefly here, just very briefly. So this is Yamada's first time here, okay? So, Yamada's first time, it's about a girl and her, she wants to have, intercourse, right? That's the whole premise. And the premise of Yamada is that she wants to have sex with 200 people, okay? 200 different men. If you ever seen, How Much Your Mother with Barney, it's like, I'm gonna do this guy or 100 of that. Yeah. Her goal is like, I wanna do 100 guys, whatever. Yeah. Like, she wants to have this number of PPs inside of her in her lifetime. That's seriously the premise, right? And then the whole anime is about her trying to have sex with this guy, right? And of course, then as I talked about, she immediately brings him to a love hotel. She's like, no, this guy, fuck me here. Yeah, she takes him there immediately. And he's all afraid. And he's like, oh, what am I doing here? He's like, oh, let's do it. Yeah, so she's super thirsty. This might be the thirstiest woman ever in anime. The whole anime is about her trying to have sex. It's alright. Marin is like, we're at the love hotel? Where's the stuff for your pee-pee? She does all the crazy portion. It's like, I found it! I mean, what can I say, right? I keep saying it, but you have to give her some credit though. Marin-chan arguably might be one of the most hentai characters in anime, right? Obviously this is not a hentai, but her behavior, right, is like straight up to some extent. I think her characterization is straight up out like a random, Gyaru hentai, right? She runs around there trying to find the stuff for his junk, right? And she's all excited. Oh, it has to be somewhere. Put it on, I want to see, Yeah, kind of like that, right? Because she's kind of like just the innocence and the wholesomeness around it, right? But it certainly feels very strange how she's so super into it. She's like, right? And of course Gojo is sitting there being like, what's happening? Why is she so incredibly aggressive, right? So, but I mean, Marin has that, I guess, perfect line, right? Of being this innocent genkiness with the wholesomeness, right? They kind of the perfect innocence thing. And then also being a complete deranged pervert, right? Yeah, like she has that perfect kind of, she really is stepping on that line all the time, right? But she's trying to find the stuff more so out of, curiosity, right? And innocence, right? More than actually doing it out of a, sexual way, right? But it really is very, very on the line, right? So, again, this anime almost skipped through that mark, right? But, suddenly she jumps into the camera, yeah, running around in the bag, and Gojo sits there being like, are we gonna have sex now? But, and then that said, right? Even though Gojo knows that they're here for a photo shoot, right, for a cosplay, certainly it's very reasonable for Gojo, right, being a young adult kind of thing going on, right, certainly reasonable for him to assume that his basically girlfriend brings him to a love hotel, right, as I mentioned earlier in the review, because, everyone in Japan knows, right, that love hotel means you're gonna have intercourse, right, the best hotel is, right. As I mentioned, you go to a love hotel because, you live with your parents or what's mentioned, yeah. So everyone has the kind of the notion that if you go to a love hotel, well, we're gonna do it, right? So of course he's just like, oh shit, my first time, right? And he's running around being all crazy, like, look at my panties! And yeah, so, but then my episode is so funnily weird too, right? Because again, imagine being Gojo, right? Even before Soccer Scene, imagine being Gojo, right? You're basically crazy Genki girlfriend, right? Brings to a love hotel. Again, right? That tells you that, okay, she wants to, do it, right? And she gets to the love hotel, and then she runs around, as she always does, because Marin is Genki, right? And she's like, whoa, 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 yeah, look at my panties, do you like my bra? All this weirdness, right? All this, like, very casual behavior that shows has, right? And he sits there like, yeah, I mean, yeah, most guys would probably, get out, explode even before, right? Most guys his age probably explode right now, right? The poor guy, man. In one way, this anime is like they got him tortured for Gojo. Okay, he has to like restrain himself all the time. Yeah, poor boy, man. He's still being a hard time. Right? He's like, oh my god, love hotel, I gotta control myself. She's showing me her pants in my face, right? Yeah, and it doesn't help. He's trying to, do a job, right? And she's like, hey, wanna look at my ass? He's like, sure, Hey, wanna see my panties? Like, I mean, it's like some kind of insane self-control. It is an episode of torture for Gojo. But anyway, that's the first premise, right? It is hilarious, it's funny, and yeah, the anime has some interesting, as I said in an earlier review, an interesting, wholesome, ecchi comedy, right? Because it really is wholesome, it really is, but at the same time, it's really funny. They're kind of joking about him, not doing it, but kind of trying to do it. Yeah, but again, it's very, very well written how it's jumping between, what is this, the borderline jump between hentai or whatever, constantly, yeah. Which is why it's so well written, definitely. Anyway, you're like, let's talk about the good stuff then. Let's talk about the real hentai, right? Certainly, by far the most hentai episode in this anime. I mean, absolutely. She sits on top of Gojo, right? Because taking these kawaii photos, and then Gojo is like, oh, I need a better angle, and she's like, yeah, great angle. Okay, what's your deal? What if you get up here, right there? You get up here, Spider-Man, like that. Then I can take this photo when we do this thing. And of course, eventually, Gojo, as you expect that, realizes that this was not the best idea to get into that. Yeah, he's like, wait a minute, but this is really a power vision from Gojo here, right? And he's like, oh man, she's sitting on top of my, yeah. But I obviously think, check out my reaction, right? Links, whatever, so on. I was surprised. I was surprised this thing happening. This is what I expected. I'm also surprised if you see a lot of like, here's her panties or whatever, here's her tail or whatever, right? But I really want to say I was surprised that they did show Gojo going, as you say, in full mast or whatever, or 10th rising or something, yeah. That they showed Gojo was like, that did surprise me, seriously. I wouldn't even be surprised by now in this anime, after they went for there, if they even went, volcano or whatever, yeah. That would be even weirder, but like, the anime, yeah. But I was surprised, right? They even animated it. It wasn't like even a still frame, this anime is going crazy. Like, think about that. It wasn't even that they went from this scene, and then the next scene of Gojo being like, whoa, and then you see, the thing, right? But it actually was like animated, right? It's actually, which is still family friendly enough, you know what I mean? Yeah, so in this scene here, right, of course, I'm going to show you the other scene, but during this scene, right, they're actually animating his stuff, like, yeah, they're actually animating him, the excitement, right? So, yeah, that surprised me, though. Because it could have went, the whole thing surprised me, but they also could have went from this scene, right? And then showing, the actual buttocks in, right? And then just jumping back to his face being red, right? Being, oh shit, that could have been like, that would be enough, right? And I haven't read the manga, so I definitely wonder if the manga is, again, right, less visual, right? But here they went full, they went all the way, more or less, right? So as always, the anime is kind of crazy because I really know episode 2 already showed us. Episode 2 I read the manga the first for touch up, yeah. So certainly, episode 2 already showed us that the anime is way more ecchi, way more borderline hentai, right? Than the manga is, certainly, with the boobies and so on, right? But this episode here again, I feel like I just don't think the manga has like the actual pages of Gojo's going up or something. It just feel little Gojo coming here. Yeah, it feels this is so weird, man. But I mean, I love it. I love it. The anime is crazy. I love it, and I just imagine that this would never be happening in, whatever, or non-Japanese, yeah. It would never be happening outside of Japan, right? And, as I mentioned earlier again, right, with the whole Kuro girl, and oh my god, no, should cancel this anime because she has, you know, a tan, right? I would love to see people getting angry with this thing, which is certainly people are gonna be that. People are certainly, this anime is already in hot waters, right? Because like Kuro girl, a very classic Japanese, again, right? A Japanese fashion. But I wouldn't be surprised if now people are gonna get pissed off over this thing too. Of course they will, you know, and they're gonna be outraged over that. This is basically hentai, even though it isn't, but it certainly is very, very borderline. That I have a problem saying, right? It's very, very borderline. But of course, nothing actually happens, but it's incredibly innuendo, right? But still, I will say that, yeah, I am surprised the anime, again, went that far, right? Even showing that angle, right? And is it unnecessary or not? I don't know. For shock value, I mean, it's funnier that they're showing it. It is funnier. But it's kind of like, if you ever seen Savage Girl in Season, which is one of my absolute favorite anime, and if you like this anime, I'm sure you also like Savage Girls, because it's also based upon some extra jokes too. It's about 5 girls trying to get laid, right? Yeah, it's like 5 girls trying to get boyfriends and have sex, right? It's a really amazing show. And that has one scene, of course, a train scene, the most iconic scene in that anime, episode 1. That's also like, yeah, if you know what I'm talking about, if you've seen the anime, you know what I'm talking about, the train scene, which is like train, yeah. This scene here, honestly, in that sense, is way less than train, right? Again, I want to spoil it, because in my opinion, it's the best anime that year, right? Maiden, or Savage Maidens, so Savage Girl Seasons, is the best anime, my number 1 that year. And yeah, it's a very iconic train scene, and that train scene is way worse than this scene. This scene isn't even remotely. The train scene, she walks in, and it's a train, and the sheet cutting, no, and then there's the neighbor Totoro stuff, no, that is way worse. So I've seen, in that sense, I've seen all the animes, they certainly step the line of like what is not okay or not, right, to some extent. Yeah, they get into this weird angle, right, of course they're not doing anything, they just get afraid, the light goes out and grabs her, you know, because she's falling and so on, right? And I love this anime, but I do find that would be my only issue with the anime, right, honestly. I think this my opinion is the best anime here at whatever, also more ranking, like, you know, from a combination, of course. I love this anime, it's 11 out of 10 anime, of course, but I also, that's my only critique on this anime, right, is that, come on girl, you're in love with him? You've been in love with him for like 6-7 episodes now. He grabs your tummy because you're falling down. You're into this really weird angle, right? He's holding your stomach. You have your legs around his back, and you're kind of falling down in this weird, you know, oh my god, in the bedroom kind of weird angle, right? She's super in love with him. You just goddamn kiss him, you know what I mean? You just goddamn kiss him, right? She wants to kiss him earlier. There's a perfect chance to kiss him, right? Tell him you like him. He clearly likes you when you're the sexiest girl in the freaking world, right? So come on, man. And I wish that's more the critique on the anime, to be honest here. It really started, as I said, 4 or 5 episodes ago, right? My only fear with anime is that every time this kind of thing happens, where they almost basically kiss, right? It's gonna be less and less reasonable, I guess. Reasonable how they never kiss, right? Even though it's like, she has to confess to him eventually, right? So I'm hoping this episode, which I believe is the final episode, maybe it's 2 more episodes, but I think it's 1 more episode. I'm hoping that episode's gonna be the confession or kiss or whatever. It'll be a nice ending to the anime. I believe it's 1 more episode. Correct me if I'm wrong. It is unfortunately only 1 more episode. Yeah, so 1 more episode, guys. And I said earlier, a few weeks ago, I definitely hope next episode should be the one where she kisses Gojo, right, or something similar. Hugs, kiss him, whatever, right? You know, or goes the full way. Who cares? But people want, because otherwise, that's certainly, I will say, otherwise diminishing the anime, right? That the more time they almost kind of do it, right, and never kind of do it, it's getting less and less, you know, reasonable again, right? That how many times can you almost kiss a guy before he understands that you like him, right? You know what I mean? You kiss him like 11 times on the cheek, and he's like, oh, maybe she likes me. You know, eventually he just gets kind of silly, right? That's unfortunately where a lot of other, especially horror animes, get into that category, right? Where the main character has like 10 girlfriends, but he doesn't understand there's 10 girlfriends, right? And after like 10 seasons, you're like, how can you still understand that you have 10 girlfriends around you all the time, you know? The longer they go, the dumber it gets, right? Nothing happens. Or of course, it could be some anime, for example, honestly, girlfriend, while I love the anime in that trash way, right? It's really funny, I think, actually. I actually really like girlfriend. In the beginning, I was like, nah, but then the more I watched it, right, the more I loved it. It's seriously like a acquired taste. But anyway, girlfriend has one thing that makes it kind of unique for horror. he just immediately kicks out the third girl, right? He has 2 girlfriends, right? Girlfriend. Then he gets a third evil oppa, right? The massive oppa, Milk Girl. And he's like, get out my harem! I don't want you in my harem! He immediately kicks her out of the harem. So that's how interesting, because then he has 4 girlfriends eventually, right? But he actually immediately, like, used, I don't want you, right, from one of them. So he has a harem, and he's aware that he has a harem, but he doesn't want to have a harem, yeah. So I think that's interesting, actually. Honestly, in girlfriend. One of the rare occasions where one of the harem members is basically kicked out immediately, but of course keeps trying to stalk them, keeps trying to make herself part of the harem, right? And he keeps trying to kick her out all the time. So that's actually interesting, yeah. That's actually kind of rare. But for example, a good example of that thing. Anyway, I said again, check out the other video, right? I highly recommend checking out my Kuro Gal video, right? Where we covered what a Gyaru is. I covered, you know, what is a Gyaru, what is about, right? Like, why is it not freaking racism, right? What is, you know, what is the difference between this character and that character and so on? So I think it's a really good video. I really want people to see it, right? Honestly, not because I made it, but I mean seriously, I discuss, you know, like this thing, right? You know, here's a Gyaru, right? You know, there's a Gyaru. Here's Kodakumi. She sings like Clover opening. She's like a very famous singer. She's a Gyaru. He's older image of Kodakumi, right? She's a Kuro guy as well. So anyway, share the video if you're interested. I really highly recommend it. Share it and so on in this video course too, but especially the video, I think, where I discuss, you know, what is a Kuro Gyaru, what's a Gyaru, what's a Hime Gyaru, you know, what's Japanese fashion, right? Why do they dress like this in Japan? What does it mean, right? And so on. So anyway, guys, have a great day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with Attack on Titan. But yeah, lastly, I don't think it's One Piece tonight. I'm sure. One Piece got hacked last week, Toei got. So maybe it's One Piece tonight, and Digimon and so on, and Die and so on. I don't know. Haven't checked that out yet. Maybe, right? I guess we see tonight, because I haven't heard anything about it. But have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow with Attack on Titan otherwise.